Yep.
Bro, what do you think about gold?
It kind of already took the buys I wanted, so I didn't enter.
Like breaking this high?
Yeah, I was looking at the 30-minute for an entry when it broke the highs, but I kind of missed it, so I just didn't enter. I actually took a sell on GJ, but it went in like 6 pips of profit maybe and came back to my entry, so I just got hit at break even.
See, I guess it's a good thing I missed gold because when it broke above, or it fell like 16 pips back down. Oh, that's 6:30. Never mind. Oh, it would not. That made the move at 6:45. See, gold is nothing to me today, but what do you think about GJ sells underneath this?
That's what I mean. I just entered like on this 15-minute candle, like maybe 5 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago. And I went in like, I don't know, what was it, like 6 or something pips profit. And then it came back to my entry. So I got hit at break even.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I thought that maybe if it broke these
I
one
like
hour
that zone
lows,
below this one though that you've got there on the 15, or you can
this
see.
here.
Yeah, I think if we can get a push through there and break those lows, we could fill those wicks to the bottom.
See, we need like a 15-minute candle though to close bearish on this.
Yeah,
And then the next one to break.
yeah,
Because this is already a big, not big, but
yeah. It'll probably be next candle if it does or so.
dang, the dollar's melting off. I, th- I think I called the top on the dollar perfect too. And Bitcoin. I think they said something about the regulations with Bitcoin in some other country. Now there's like some big sell-off. But then Biden's stupid tax plan of like 49% or something insane. That's gonna ruin the stock market too. We'll have to wait on GJ. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna mute myself.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
What about gold if it breaks? I don't know, gets to like 1794 on the 1 hour.
I don't know, maybe
It-
we can see like the next 15-minute candle pull back, but this one's tricky because there's kind of a lot of noise up here too.
The 1 hour is looking at those two kind of parallel, or just I don't even know what it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna
kind of like
be the 4 hours clean there. You see how we have this clean 4 hour here, but then when we start to go down like the 1 hour, there's a wick right here. Maybe it's gonna blow through that with volume today.
So question, on the 4 hour, there was a body and then the wick kept going. So do you consider that one range?
Yeah, so that's exactly it. If you were to move it up to the body, you'll see that 15-minute noise that I was just talking about. So you see that 15-minute here that I was pointing out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the noise there. But you're in session too, so you can be a bit picky. Well, you can be a bit loose about it too. Meaning like you can ignore a little bit of noise because you're just anticipating the volume to push through everything. You ever see those moves happen where they just blow through all the support and everything, and what you anticipated on happening like didn't happen? That's kind of why.
Yo,
What up, D Wayne?
hey, did I miss it? Looks like I missed it.
Yeah, you missed everything. We already cashed out twice today.
Damn, it's only been 13 minutes.
Well, shouldn't have woke up late.
I didn't. I just spent $1,200 at Home Depot. I've been up since 6.
I'm just kidding, bro. You didn't even miss anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we didn't. Well, I see when I first came on here, I thought, Caleb, your idea underneath here was a good idea.
Yeah, I probably could have stayed in. I just didn't like that it went down quick and jumped up. So I just decided to get out at break even.
Maybe we can get like a 30-minute candle to close down on this. Even if we have to wait for this like 8 a.m. when the new 4-hour candle opens, it's probably going to be worth it because this range is pretty clean. Gold looks kind of choppy today, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of gold, but
Look, maybe I might take what do you think about if this next 15-minute candle opens, pulls back and breaks the high here? That might give continuation into this range at least 10 pips.
yeah, I mean, it definitely could. I just don't like the noise to the left. I was thinking like the same thing on GJ with the cells, though. Even though we kind of are not quite at that zone yet, I think if this 15-minute can make a wick up and then break the lows, it could continue down to that zone. And I think we could even anticipate it getting to that bottom zone where we were
Yeah,
looking at. But
how are we going to manage that? If it just breaks up at all, just close it.
I wanted to give a pretty good wick to the upside, would be the only way I would do it, and then you could have your stop above the wick. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna be picky if I'm gonna take that because it is in the middle of the zone.
we'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye. Let's see what happens with it, because now you are creating a decent wick to the upside. So maybe if this respects somewhere in here, obviously it'll top out lower time frame. But if we start to come back down and break this low, I am willing to execute. But because of that, I think I want to set my stops semi fast to break even.
Yeah.
Maybe once we got towards the bottom, just in case it did give a bounce and came back. We'll keep an eye on it. Let me know if it gets close.
Okay. Yeah, it's making a really nice wick now. So I think if this could come all the way back down and break the lows, that we could be good for another decent sell off. But
Yeah, maybe it'll top out somewhere in here.
even if it doesn't, I don't care as long as it comes all the way back down. Because I mean, at this point, the higher the wick goes, the better.
Yeah.
if it goes up like what? What's up? Yeah, we'll see what the stops, what they can be at.
See, I don't like GJ buys either because see how this higher time frame already closed back underneath all this, and then there's just this big sell-off and then consolidation, continuation, and then more wicks to the upside. I don't even want to buy this at all.
Yeah.
I have no interest in it. One thing I've noticed is that like just after there's, well, just obviously, but after there's big sell-offs or a big push, like, and you can't find a clean range, it's never smart to trade against it.
You think if we're looking at sells on this, would you rather take it if it breaks the previous candle's low or if it breaks its own low here?
Probably the previous candle's low, just to be safe. Something's really telling me that when gold breaks this high, that it's gonna rip into this range. That's another idea.
Yeah.
Because this just built up a nice support during London session, and then it's just building supports ever since. And on the 1 hour, outside of this one wick, there's clean range here. And maybe it's going to push through that. And even if not, that one wick is, almost 10 pips. But this range is like 20 pips, 18 pips. So I don't know. The better trade is probably waiting on GJ, but
Gold could, and it probably will, but I don't know. It just doesn't look clean to me. I don't want to take a
it's
lot.
this noise over here. Well, the 4 hour looks good.
GJ starting to come back down now. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, look at that.
It's dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just so everyone knows, if GJ leaves this wick up here and we end up breaking this previous low, I'm going to execute a sell on this. But look, if you guys are not fast enough to do it, because somebody yesterday executed a sell after I talked about something, like literally 10 pips away from where I was talking about it. If you're not fast enough to do it, trade demo and get used to being on here before you do it. Don't just take a trade in the middle of a range and miss the whole move that we're already in. That's silly. If you don't know how to do it, take your time.
Okay, so that oh shit.
All right, I'm in now. It got me.
Oh, you had just had an order sitting there, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know.
You love those things there. I see it like on gold. I need those orders because it moves. Sometimes its impulses are so fast that I can't execute fast enough, and then it just has to make its run without me. Then I just watch it all irritated. So if this thing starts to drop like down back towards the bottom of this support here, I'll put it at probably, I won't put it at break even. We'll see. But if it starts to pull back up into this range too, like, and I'm in 5 pip drawdown or whatever, I'm going to close out half of the position.
Yeah, same.
Because right now we're pulling back up into it, but we'll give it a few minutes. Honestly, just outside of these wicks, I mean, it's still clean down here. Then we have this whole clean range here, but you've got to think the higher time frame, the 4 hours clean, and there's a lot of rejection to the upside after London. Big bearish candle right now, so decent momentum in our favor too.
Hey Tanner.
Yeah.
All right, I was just making sure I'm unmuted because I'm on MetaTrader, but I was just making sure I was unmuted just in case. Here we go. There we go.
Nice.
Okay, so Caleb, I'm gonna I think I'm gonna put mine at break even. Are you, or are you gonna hold yours waiting?
I'm gonna let it push a little more, but I mean, at this point, if it comes all the way back up, I probably would want to just get out of break even, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully we can catch some nice volume to break this. I anticipate a bounce here, but
Basically, if we can break the low of the current wick, I think it can get another good push down.
yeah, that next good push is gonna give us the money.
Almost. It wants to. I know it. There we go.
Yeah, so we're flirting with the idea. Let's see if we can't pop through this now.
I put my stop at break even.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys want to, you can.
Bro, I love that you do these calls, bro. It's just such a good start to the morning.
Hey, we have had some fire trades off of these for real. That gold trade from 2 days ago that ripped like, oh, there we go, like 50 pips. Yeah. So by now, if you guys want to put it at break even, do it. Because if it comes back, it's not a good thing. Oh, okay. I'm out. I close everything out.
Me too.
There we go.
Nice.
Good stuff, Caleb. Dang, we owe that trade to Caleb.
No, that was all we got. We all got it.
See, for those of you that don't know him, he and I have been trading together for years. He lives next to me. He knows me personally.
Yeah.
We do a little bit of some car stuff together, and yeah, just hang out. Oh, look at that meltdown. So the reason that I moved the target here is because there's like a support sitting here as well, but I anticipate this whole 4-hour range getting filled. If you guys haven't, cover the money. Cover your money. Don't get greedy. It's a Friday too. Definitely cover it. Oh, look at gold, bro. It broke the high and filled the range.
I figured
Wow. I knew it too. One swift candle through there and continuation. That's nice. So yeah, there's two good ideas. One we actually executed on, and one, of course, I miss. But that's all right.
Good way to end Friday. I'm not gonna take anything else.
Nah, me neither. I'm done with it. Nothing else.
I wasn't quick
Yo.
enough on GJ, so I was disciplined and didn't start hitting buttons.
And that's the thing. Don't get off of here and do things either, right? Especially because it's Friday. But if you miss these, when I talk about it, if you're not fast enough, there's a few ways to do this where you can have your MT4 open on your computer. So you can have one-click trading, which means you click the X one time and you're out of the position, right? That's one way to speed it up. The next way, like Caleb likes to use orders, right? So where I anticipate gold breaking, he would just set an order there to get picked up. And same for GJ. He just had an order sitting there. If you're not fast enough or just want to be more efficient, period, put an order under there where you already know you're going to trade, because the thing is, you already know your stop. You know your stop is going to be 8 to 10 pips. You know that once it breaks that low, that's where you're going to trade at. So you can set the
You're saying like a limit order, right?
well, a stop order.
Or yeah.
So you can set the order there, and then that'll speed things up. And like before I even enter and everything, I know where I'm going to enter at. So if I know, okay, I'm entering on the break of this, then I already have like my MT4 open. I have my stop loss typed in. And when I break the low, when I hit sell, everything is already there. I'm not scrambling when it's time. And I already know my 2% risk that I'm on every day. So the lot doesn't change for me. So I just do the same thing over and over like that. And then I can use the MT4 on the computer as well to help me do things faster. So after I enter it and after, it starts to move in my favor, then I know that if it comes back to my entry, I need to close. But if I want to make things even more efficient, then once I enter the trade, I can go in there, click close, or go in there and once it starts to move, I can type in my entry as my stop loss. Then that'll put the trade to break even. So there's a few ways to speed things up, like, that you can do. So you're not scrambling all during the trade to do it.
I was close.
It's all right. But
I almost missed it. I seen it hit, so I went to 4, and I wasn't gonna take it, but like when it came back up into the range a little bit, I was like, all right, bet I sold it and
Nice.
got it.
Nice. So that was a look, perfect drop to the to the wick here. So that was like 20-ish pips, 22 pips.
This
And
is really
since I'm new, I'll just be completely honest about it. When it came back up into the range and hovered there for a bit, I actually was getting on it again too, but I put the stop loss on the wrong, on the buy side, not the sell side.
Mhm.
And it was just like, no, wouldn't let it go through. So that's when I missed it, truly missed it.
yeah, I definitely.
And that's just learning.
You just gotta learn. I would recommend doing demo, if you haven't like traded like this way before, just to kind of practice getting.
I have done a bunch of demo. I don't know, right? That was just a in the moment live thing.
Yeah, it can take a while to get, like, things are gonna move in ways you've never seen. Like gold can move in one candle like 30 pips sometimes. So you have to get used to things moving fast. You have to be efficient too. Like once you enter, you've got to go in there and already have your stop loss, everything ready before you enter. Then when you enter, it's all set. So you're not scrambling, because say we're on gold and it were to drop a little bit and you don't have your stop set or nothing, and that one wick gets hit by a news or something and it shoots up 30 pips, you're going to be screwed sitting there in 30 pip drawdown. And then let's say you're arrogant because we won one trade the day before and you got greedy and now you're over leveraged. You're really going to be pissed off at yourself. Like, why did I just do all that? Or why did I not listen? Why didn't I take my time to learn it better? So and someone was asking if I have 0.5 pips of drawdown, I'll sell off half my position. Now, if I'm halfway in drawdown, so if things were to turn against me and start running up against me, I refuse to take a full 10 pip loss in these cases. So A, I'll close the whole thing, or B, I'll close half of it and leave half running. And I'll tell you why, like the half, because if we go back and we look yesterday, I took a loss on GJ yesterday. Ultimately this trade played out, but yesterday here on the sell, right underneath here on this one candle, I took a sell yesterday on GJ under here and I lost 2 pips. But had I closed half when it pulled back, I would have been okay to hold the other half that would have dropped. So that's why, same thing on gold yesterday as well, right? So that's why I'm tweaking that idea that I'm gonna let things run. Look at silver ripping right now. So yeah, I mean, everyone should have covered money off of this trade. Did anyone catch this trade then? Put it in the chat.
I caught it. I just
No,
I
D-Wayne
closed it.
did. There you go. So that'll be it for you today.
Yo, I caught it as well. We caught some fire trades this week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm driving halfway. I'm halfway to Galveston right now, trading,
Nice.
watching.
For Forex newbie, you took gold. Did you catch that same trade that I was talking about up at the top? Oh, a couple people did. Oh, you were in gold earlier. All right, someone was in gold. GJ demo. Yeah, just demo it. You don't gotta, because here's the thing, even if you do scramble to make a live account and you win that trade, it's not gonna make you rich anyways. So what's the point? Literally no point in rushing it.
And we'll be right back next week doing the same thing.
Yeah, no point at all. We'll be back next week, next month, next year, everything.
I'm taking it as a learning experience, which is probably more valuable than the few bucks it would have made me. So
Yeah, exactly. Because then if you scramble there was someone yesterday, I'm not gonna say any names, that got into a sell so late on gold. It's like the 7 o'clock candle, the thing had already dropped, 12 pips, and someone entered like down here, and I don't know, don't do that, because once our moves are typically 10 to 12 pip movers. Like if this gold trade we were in it, we would have covered money at 10 pips. And that's like, you don't need to enter on 10 pips. That don't make sense.
Yeah, that guy's an idiot for sure.
You can't have FOMO.
No. Dude, D-Wayne, you're funny sometimes, bro. He said that guy's an idiot. Hold up a second.
Dude, I could not find MetaTrader for Windows yesterday, Tanner. Well, he said wait, but
It's harder
hey,
to find on Mac.
You
Hey.
what? Huh?
well, I was telling you, I could not find MetaTrader for Windows yesterday. It was like trying to make me start a new broker account with some other broker, and I'm like,
You can use the web-based one. The web-based one is what I use. Caleb, don't you use on your computer web-based MT4 as well? You don't have it downloaded?
Yeah, if I'm doing it on my computer, I'll just do that. But I've recently found out that you can get it easier on Mac. Like, it was kind of weird the way you'd have to do it before. But you remember Justin?
Yeah.
He had like a link to it on his website I saw somewhere, so I might download that at some point.
There you go. It's pretty easy, Dylan. If you just go to the whatever broker you're using, go to that broker and you can use the I just had a brain fart here. Oh, you can use their web trader. Any good groups to join like this that meet every morning and trade? Yeah, I mean, we have the free Discord. I have a Telegram, and then we have the paid group as well. So typically I haven't been all year trading like 5 days a week, but I want to start doing these 5 days a week, but not all of them will be open to the public. So if you have, if I don't know if everyone in here, I don't know how, if you don't use, I don't know if you use Discord or not, but here's the free Discord too. And you can message me on Discord a lot easier than Telegram. You can message me on Discord. That's a lot easier. I don't think my Telegram, I don't think you can reach me on there. Plus there's like 3,000 people in there. So there's tons of questions every single day. So if you want, you can hit me up on there if you have questions about anything. As well as I don't know if you use Instagram too. You can hit me up on there. I can answer on there faster than anything probably. My Instagram is dad_2_ Castle. Sheesh, dang, that GJ was fire.
That was money. Literally exactly what I
Tanner,
wanted.
why is your TP set like not to the range? Like it's set before the range. Like why isn't it set where it's at right now?
Look where I moved the box. You see that? So what I noticed here was that there was this support here, and then these things wicked off of it here again. So I figured, is there really a point in getting greedy for that extra 5-6 pips? Just moving it there, probably not. Just, ultimately, if we look on the 4-hour, yeah, the 4-hour made sense to go back down to that support here, but when you look at the 1-hour, you could see those wicks there, so that's why I moved it there. But yeah, I mean, that was our overall target, was down there. Caleb, you're getting off of here?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and sleep another hour or so before I gotta go.
All right, bro. Just hit me up later today.
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
All righty.
All right, bro. Hey, good call out on that trade.
Thanks. Hope you guys got some money from that.
I think Caleb will be on with us for the next few weeks too.
Yeah. All right, see you guys.
All right, peace out. Dang, look at GJ. So now, like, this isn't something I would execute on. Anyone who made money, just leave it alone. But just looking at like now, the next clean range is like you're picking up another clean range under here. You could see the bottom of this 4-hour wick, but I can already tell there's going to be a ton of noise in between all of that. So just going back down to the 1-hour to look at the next spot. Man, probably somewhere right here, just clean 1-hour candles. So yeah, I mean, those are the ways that I pick targets. That's how I see clean ranges, this and that. That's the next spot I would be watching. But Yeah, I mean, we already made our money, so there's no point in trading anymore. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I learned my lesson on Fridays. Make a whole bunch of profit during the week and lose it all on Friday.
oh yeah, that's the worst. The worst thing for me is I'd rather take no trade than take a trade on Friday and take a loss, because then I have to go into the week and, kind of feeling
Us.
not that I really, and it isn't even really anymore that I think about the losses too bad. Like, I had a, I forget what day it was. I was flustered one day this week and I had a win, and I'm still thinking about it like that. It just, I guess it kind of depends on the mood or whatever the day brings me, like where I'll just be thinking about some things, and you're obviously going to have that happen. It's just human nature, but it's important to detach as much as possible from all of that. You don't want to think about it too much, especially if you control your risk and you're closing things early and you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're really not going to think about it too much. But when you're over leveraged and you're doing stupid trades and you're trading 30 times in one session and just tearing your account up, like, then you're going to think about it like a lot. It's not going to leave your mind.
What do you think is the best days of the week with like the most volatility? I feel like Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, definitely all the best days. That's why, like, Monday and Tuesday, we're really picky about what we're gonna do, and that's partly why I also haven't done that's also why, like, I haven't done the um Mondays and Tuesdays for a session, because
Just
of
that.
that. That's why I kept my Tuesday sessions as just nightly. We review the overall market and see what's going on with the market. We just kind of chop it up about the market on Tuesday nights. I was going to change that to the morning session as well, but I don't know.
I like the nightly sessions. I like being able to because I feel like I can ask you questions in this, but like whenever it's time to trade, it's like, all right, shut up, it's time to trade. We got to get serious now. And I don't like asking questions and having you trying to explain stuff during the live session because we're trying to make money.
Yeah. It's perfect for. That's why, like, the people that are in with us, it's good for them because you guys get this and then you get more on a personal level too. So it's just, it's easier. You have your times to ask me and pick the brain and everything else. So
Tuesdays go into depth and just, pretty much explain it all. So I feel like
yeah. Tuesday we talk about our trading quite a bit too. Tuesday we talk about some of the trades we take. But yeah, I think I'm going to, we'll see. Like, obviously I want to keep my Thursday session is just off to no risk, and then probably if I do another 2 sessions a week, those will probably be only to you guys as well, because yeah, I don't know, I want to keep things more value towards you guys than, I don't mind, like, I like doing things for the public too, so I like just keeping a balance here.
So the web page or whatever for MetaTrader is just what, metatrader4.com or something?
No, so like let's say your broker's like Osprey or something, right? You'll go to that website and they'll have their web-based broker on there.
So you go to Osprey's website or you go to
Whatever your broker is, go to their website and then go to MT. So let's look at it. Let's look at it right here. So this is the broker, right? And if you go to MT4 and tools on Osprey, like, there's web trader, right? So you would just click that and use the web. You don't have to download anything. Every broker has that section.
I haven't really looked on Hugo's, but I'm not sure Hugo. Maybe, probably.
Is there any reason you would do that over downloading, or just preference?
Just preference. See, look, Hugo has theirs too. D-Wayne, you got to go on there and look. Trading, web trader.
Okay, so you click web trader and not MT4.
Yeah, if you want to download it. I personally, I have it downloaded, but it's easier access for me to have for me to get the web trader.
Do you just like make a shortcut on your home screen and just double click it? for the web trader?
No, I just keep it open all the time. I never close it. You can though. Do whatever you need to do, whatever fits you. Somebody sent me your oh crap. Someone sent me your MetaTrader and
Dang. I like the new car, Tanner.
someone sent me their MetaTrader 5 and I opened it and it took me to, I don't get it. I don't know what you're doing here. It took me to a demo. I thought it was going to somehow put me in theirs. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know. Someone sent me a link on the chat privately to their MetaTrader accounts. I'm confused what you're doing. Because just now it gave me the oh, you can log into the web trading. I don't know. Default demo. Got you. Somebody's raising their hand. You don't have to do that. You can ask or unmute yourself. You probably didn't mean to. No, you're all right. That's all good. I was just confused because it gave me a chance. It like opened an account immediately, and I'm like, I don't have MT5, so I'm confused what happened. Also supports MT4 accounts.
Maybe I should just unmute. Sorry.
No, you're all right. I get what you're saying. I was just confused at first.
Yeah, I mean, that's the default web trader, which other brokers will copy and run on their own places.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you can use that, or you can use your broker's version of web trader if they have it.
I got you. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just find that I don't know why, the web trader is just a lot easier for me than using anything else. Maybe I haven't put enough time into looking into the everything else, you know. Somebody was, oh, Jeff, are you still in here? He was asking about sharing other groups. I want to make sure he can. I think that they got off. Yeah. All right. Well, sorry for your loss, Jeff. Yeah, so pretty we got our mover kind of early today, so not bad. And now we typically, like, if I don't have my mover, I typically stay on till like 9 a.m. Central Time. So, you know, pretty much another hour or so. We can look at some other things. We could talk about a few other things. I know there's probably quite a few people in here from Telegram that that are some metals. You guys are into the metals. Isn't there who in here is from the Telegram? You could put it in the chat. We might have a mixture. We might have a mixture of people. D-Wayne, you ain't in here from the Telegram.
I mean, I'm in the Telegram. Is Jay still on here? I wanted to tell him something.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Hey, earlier you were talking about how you set your stop loss wrong or whatever.
Yeah, I threw it on the buy side, not the sell side, and it just wouldn't let me execute.
Yeah, so like what I was gonna say, like even though like technically you took an L on that, you still learned from that. So you took a dub in knowledge, you know, you learned from that. So you're still technically winning.
Honestly, I felt like my hand wanting to just start hitting the button and execute late, and I didn't. And I feel like that actually was some progress.
Exactly.
Like, I hate that I missed it, of course, but I'm trying to look at the positive that I did some smart things, which is kind of the point of this.
I'm happy you missed the money. I'm happy you didn't make it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
For real, a lot of people do some stupid things when it comes down to it. I would rather miss the trade. You know how good it feels to miss a trade and watch it immediately in 30 seconds run to my target than it is to scramble, get it, and then, you know, make 100 pips. Like, I would much rather feel the patience than the money
I
anymore.
feel because at night before I go to bed, I'll mark up my charts and I'll put like what I think is gonna happen over like London session because I don't trade London, so I just mark everything up. And then when I wake up, I go and check it and see if it either hit take profit or hit stop loss. And I mean, a lot of the times I'm like about 60-70% of the times I'm right about what it'll do. I just don't take the trades. And it's just a good feeling knowing that I'm getting better because like when I met you, Tanner, you knew. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't do nothing.
So you do that with London? Like,
No, like, so I'm in Central Time, so I go to bed around like 10 p.m. And for me, London is 2 a.m., 2 in the morning. And
yeah.
I just, because if I stay up for London, ain't no way I'm waking up for New York. And I like trading New York way better. So before I go to bed, I'll mark up my zones and like, you know, do my technical analysis. And then when I wake up in the morning for New York, I wake up a little bit earlier and I just go and I look at the charts and just see what happened over London session. Because I mean, London session moves like New York, but I just think there's more volatility in New York session, and I just like it better because I've lost. I've learned my lesson from trying to like trade both sessions and stuff. It's just over trading and getting.
Yeah.
The key is less trades a day. You want just 1 or 2. But so from this group, there's a lot of people in there from Telegram. Someone was asking about XRP and silver. I can give you an answer to. XRP I probably could, but I'm not into. I sold out of all my crypto already, and I'm not I don't want to be a part of that. So, and just to give a little background, like the reason I'm so biased on metals, so I have been for a long time. If we were to look at like a 100-year chart, you could see my grandpa was in during the 80s. Well, you know, he was in before that, but when the market, let me pull up a 100-year chart. When the market exploded for silver, that's where he made his fortune at, was in the silver market during that time. I'm trying to find this chart for you guys. I normally have it pulled up. So yeah, if we were to look at a 100-year chart here, you can see, so during the 80s, there was a nice pop to the upside. And as well as the 2011, there was a nice run to the upside. So just since I was a kid, I would get like ounces for my birthday, or, you know, and I was always tracking the prices on a Kitco app, and or Christmas, I would get some, and I watched my dad trade it for like a long time.
Dude, I feel like I would have much rather get presents like that. Like, I feel like I didn't even know you could buy physical gold and silver. Like, I didn't even know that until I met you and Hussein. But I thought it was the coolest thing. I went and freaking dropped so much money buying it. And I mean, I don't ever like look at it or play with it or anything, but it's just cool knowing that you can have a bar of silver, you know?
Yeah, that you should hold ounces of gold. If you think the ounces
Yeah,
of
well,
silver are
first
cool.
of all,
Those
and that
are
stuff's expensive.
Yeah, I know. So this is what's happened, right? Over the time, that's where my grandpa made his fortune there. And just through the family, it's always been passed down, and then everyone accumulates more just collectively, and then puts it, just to inheritance and things like that. Well, now it seems as if we're gearing up for another big pop. So my dad has been in the market for 30ish years, and then I, as a kid, and then all through high school, I watched silver when I was younger, through high school and everything else, just consolidate for the last, and I say younger, but really when I was younger, we were I didn't know we were in a bull run, but really since I paid attention, we've been on the come down, and then just a big consolidation for years. So yeah, I mean, we're loaded up for the next run, and I think what we've seen happen here, right? And this is the way that I caught the Bitcoin tops too, right? If I take Bitcoin and I take a measured move from the low to the high, and I clone that box and put it on top, and then I clone that box again and I put it on top, like you'll be surprised at these measured moves. Look where price tops out at. Literally perfect on these measured moves. So what I do is watch the structure. Like I'll put a horizontal line on those just real quick. I'm not going to go too much in depth on how I do it, but I'll put a horizontal line on those levels and I watch price action when they get there. And anyone in the group, I actually have screenshots of it, but we had once price got back up here before, I had caught sells there, and then look at how it respects the highs again. I short Bitcoin in here at I had a short at like 36,000 something, like over here I think, and then price moved up again, and now we've respected this measured move again, and we're melting off. So these measured moves in the market, they work. They're not going to work down to a T, but that's how. And then I can go more in depth with that on the daily, right? I can find, if I take my fibs and I go from the high to the last box, well, I know there's going to be reactions around the 88, the 79, the 618, the 50%, and things like that. I won't go in depth on how to do all that, but that's how I track those. So the silver and gold, they were really no different. And what I did with gold was I realized that we had this huge bullish run on gold. Then we had just sideways consolidation. We had a breakout, right? So from the breakout on gold, what I anticipated was that when we broke this measured move again on gold, my next longer term target for gold is going to be up at $3,300. And once we break this again up here, once we break out of this again, I think that's when we're going to see that push start to happen, right? But there's ways I can then track some spots that are going to be specific areas, right? Like 2,300 on the 32%. And I know the 50% and the 618 and the 79 and the 80. These are all going to be areas of a measured move that are going to have some sort of negative or positive reaction, depending on how, I'm looking at it. So if you take this into consideration, this same pattern that gold ran bullish here, and then we've seen a consolidation. And then when we broke out of this, we broke these all-time highs here. If you put that in relation to silver, they correlate 85%. And what I think we're going to see here is silver broke out of its consolidation, but look how far behind it is. Like gold already broke its all-time high. I anticipate that this year on silver, if we just bounce back and forth, you can see the difference. Gold broke out of its consolidation and broke the highs. Silver broke out, but it's lagged a bit. And I think we're seeing a bit of a lag, but this is going to pick up. And when it explodes, it's going to be pretty brutal for anyone that's on the wrong side. Now, I won't get concerned about the price of silver unless we break that $21 down here. I'll start to get concerned, but consolidation is healthy. A lot of people think that it's bad, but it would be like, if you were to go for runs or anything else, like unless you're some David Goggins or something, you're not going to run 200 miles at one time, right? You're going to need breaks in between. And that's what you want, because when something runs parabolic and it's not healthy, and when it starts to drop, that same run that it made up is going to happen back to the downside. It's not a healthy run. So you want these pauses where it can shake people out, it can scare people, as well as it leaves room for you to accumulate more or add to the position once you start to notice it's happening. So the consolidation's healthy, but the break from there, we're obviously, I think we see $35 an ounce this year back towards these highs. And then, yeah, I think we're probably going to see $35 an ounce this year isn't going to be very unlikely, and maybe even spikes to 37 or 38, $40. I would anticipate this year. Overall, though, if I take my measured move on silver that I'm expecting here and I clone it, my overall target's like $92 to the upside. And that's $90. That's based on, look, these targets are going to move. They're going to get higher and this and that. There's a lot of people that are too critical on, we're going to see silver go a few $1,000 an ounce and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I mean, anything could happen, but let's just work with what we have right now. Right now, we're seeing $25 an ounce. So let's not be too crazy or unrealistic here. And as the price starts to move towards these levels, we just track it and play it as it is. And cool, when it gets there, it does. But whenever you buy things, especially trading and investing, like with that expectation of, then when it doesn't happen, you are out of money or you're disappointed that that move didn't get made. So it's a lot easier just to trade everything as it comes or invest in it as it comes. Like this morning, for instance, we short GJ, right? We didn't anticipate anything. There was no anticipation that, oh, I'm going to get in this trade and I'm going to short GJ and I am going to short GJ all the way back down to its all-time lows, right? No, let's not be unrealistic here. What happened was, as it broke structure, we took a trade, we found realistic targets, and then we pulled out at those realistic targets, right? And as it sets up next week, we will continue trading it like that every single day. And then we aren't disappointed, right? But as I trade silver and I anticipate that we're going to break $100 an ounce, $200 an ounce, $500 an ounce, blah, 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 all these things you hear, you start to get your feelings hurt when these things don't happen. So for me, I've watched the patience of my family over the years. That's how I'm going to be. And if it doesn't play out my lifetime, cool. If I ever have kids, I'll teach them about it and then they can hold it just like my dad did with me and my grandpa did with my dad. And then I'm not disappointed about it. I don't have, if you want to say like all my eggs in one basket, right? Like I'm not over leveraged crazy. Sure, my core position of any long-term investment is and always will be in the metals just for that reason. But well, the reasons that I think we're going to enter another super cycle on all commodities across the board, but there's lots of room to the upside. But when you anticipate, you get your feelings hurt, right? And we talked about that yesterday. There was a sell side on gold we were watching yesterday at 7 a.m. And I was talking about, if you anticipate, it was this wick right here. It was this wick right here. This is where I was talking about. If you anticipate moves, right? Because what happened here was we wanted to sell underneath this candle and price was making its way down and then shot all the way up and created this top wick here. And I was talking about, if you anticipate and it doesn't happen and you don't just read and react. So the idea is sell once the low breaks, not don't anticipate it to break. Because if it doesn't and it retraces like it did here, you're going to get your feelings hurt that you lost money. And then you invested emotional time into something that, you know, is less likely to happen. So the trading is the same exact way. That's why on GJ, I thought it was going to drop, but when it was pulling back up, I didn't sell it here, right? Pulled back up to a T where I said, I think it's going to pull into here to create its top wick and then break the low. I didn't sell up there because I don't know. I just want to read and react. Once it broke the low, right, that made a lot more sense. That verified everything that I was thinking. So as prices going back, putting all this in relation to longer term on silver, as prices break the metal or the levels and it looks more realistic that, hey, these kind of targets we're getting to make sense, then we'll play it as it is. But I'm not going to get all worked up. And some people in this world just have no patience. And, you know, you say one thing and they do just complete other things and just all kinds of ridiculous things come out of it. I don't know. I like, some of you guys know Nate. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he deals with some of the people that he does, or I don't know. Some of these people I watch are just freak out. It was like the one person who said I'm a scam. I'm like, well, whoever showed up in short GJ today, you got scammed into a free trading session and into free money. So congratulations on getting scammed.
Dude,
That's exactly it. A lot of people talk too much crap without knowing anything. Don't talk just to hear yourself talk.
Ignore that garbage. Those people, yeah.
It's very idiotic. But here was something I put a long time ago. This is within our group too. I already knew this run was coming. But after I seen these lows taken out back towards $11 an ounce on silver and we broke out, or we were about to break out, I knew that this bull run was taken off. And I had compared some things with gold and its consolidation and its breakout. And I had put in there at $19 and some change that the same pattern is setting up on silver, like to avoid the emotions and volatility on your trading account, just buy the physical option, the physical silver. It's the better option, and hold over the next few years, right? So this was put out probably July 14th of 2020, and we're now sitting at, we've spiked as high as $30 an ounce recently. So pretty decent. When that was in 2019, and we plan on not 2019, 2020, and we plan to hold again for the next few years. So everything's
Right.
going as planned. What's that?
I was gonna say, like, back to what you were talking about a minute ago, like how people get all worked up and stuff. I think one of the main thing about it is like all the forex influencers on like Instagram and all the social medias. They sell you the dream that, like, oh, if you start trading forex, you're gonna be rich and you'll have $1 million in a year, and then people start trading and realize that's not how it is. Like, this is not a get rich quick scheme. Like, this is like a career. Like, I don't know. The way I see it is that it's a career, and all these people, like I had one dude who started trading, and he lost money, but the first week he started trading, he was taking signals. He made over $900 and then blew the whole account the next day. It was like a $250 account, made $900 and blew it all because he thought he was going to get rich overnight. And that's what the people like on social media, that's what they portray it as. Is like, oh, start trading forex, you'll be rich. Like, they just flash all their money, and I just think
That's why you never see me post anything trading related on my Instagram. I stay far, because here's the thing. I had the car before trading. I had, traveling before trading. I did this, I did that. So if I were to go in there and start, I would be just like everyone else. And that's what I always in my life, I refuse to do what the general public did. Like, one thing my dad always told me growing up was, what 90% of the people are doing, just do the opposite, and you're probably going to make it. And like with trading and anything in life, that's the way I look at it. Well, what are 90% of these people doing? Okay, I don't want to do that, right? And anyways, I would look like one of those like douchebags if I did post trading on my Instagram, because everything else is already there. So it would be like selling an unrealistic dream that I never wanted to be a part of. I never wanted to be a part of that. I never wanted to do any of that, and I still don't. I never do want to. I never, even when I do consider myself like, oh, I made it, I don't want to. I'll never post anything about trading related, saying come give me your money and learn from me and blah blah blah. I don't do it now, and I do those things, right? I could say, I have my group, pay me and I'll teach you and blah blah blah, but I refuse. If it's that good, people will come off of word of mouth, and I won't have to. So I don't need to do that. So that's why I keep everything clean. I don't care about posting it, this and that. Like, if you follow me on there and and then you are involved with my trading and cool, that's all one thing. But yeah, I won't ever advertise anything on my social media, or I never have, I never will. No one will ever see it from me. I could care less. Because regardless, with or without you guys, I will still wake up every day and do the same thing. I will still like, live the same way and everything. I don't need anyone. It's all a bonus. All a bonus. But then again, like I like being a little like social and trading socially and this and that. Like I kind of enjoy it. So yeah, no problem. So for anyone who's getting off of here at all, you can just stay connected on the telegrams and stuff. And yeah, and even if you don't want to even take any trades, like there's the ones that I do for the public are literally free. They always will be. So you don't have to show up and do anything. You can just watch. You can get scammed into watching something for free, and then if you do trade and you take a trade and you make money, you can get scammed into making money. How about that? So a little slight outlook into the metals. So I think we're looking a bit healthy. And I actually, I didn't know where this bounce was going to be, but I anticipate this this will be the low for the year, I anticipate. And same thing for the dollar. They typically on higher time frames have an inverse correlation. So I was waiting for the dollar to top out. As soon as we get back down here on the dollar, like I'm really gonna know that, okay, things are looking good. And as we bust these lows on the dollar is going to have a very unhealthy meltdown back towards like 80. And that is going to be the catalyst that sends gold back past its all-time highs. And I think that pushes silver into its all-time highs is when we see the dollar really crack down. I really want to see it again when we start to break back down and we melt back down into this area, this 89,500 area back down here. That's going to be a very decent signal to me that I need to, and I actually thought about doing this. I thought about selling my car and just dumping it all into the silver market when I seen this and really making a risky move in my life. Considering I'm young, I don't care about it all. I can get it all back if it were not to play out. But I think when we see this into here, this thing is gonna 89,500 is a good healthy area for the metals to really push back up. And then as we break that, the dollar is gonna see a multi-year low. And if we continue from there, man, this thing's gonna get crushed. The dollar is gonna get crushed if we see that. Once we break these lows though, on the daily, once we break these lows again, see, and then this is what I talk about. The consolidation is healthy. As we make moves and the price consolidates, that's healthy for it. That's what keeps the market going. So as we bust back past these lows and we continue to break back down, you know, that's going to be pretty nice for the metals. Yes. All right, Dwayne, I'll catch you next week. So I'm just here to learn. Been doing some trading on my own for about 7 years. Never anything for real. Yeah. Just show up to learn. You don't have to. Yeah, and there's no pressure for anyone to buy anything. To look, for the people who do, sure, it's there. And if you want to learn more, you can. But there's no pressure for anything. The ones that are free, just get on for free, and doesn't hurt to hear about it. But these tradings, I don't really talk about like the metals too much, or like when I get on here to trade afterwards, we can chop it up a bit. But you know, I'm just here to trade. It's literally just to watch how I do things in the morning. That's it. I'm going to be surprised today if GJ breaks this low again, which again, if you've already traded, do not do anything else. You're done. But I anticipate if GJ breaks this low here with this nice wick, that overall target down here, that second one we picked should get hit. So like the reason we trade at this time is because 7 a.m. is New York Open. So we'll trade that volume on the New York Open. And then typically around 8:30 in the morning, well, there's volume from 7 till 9. And typically we'll see some volume around 8:30 in the morning because the stock market, New York Stock Exchange, opens at 8:30 my time. So that'll give it a little added volume. And then around 9 a.m., I notice my moves kind of start to die down. So I don't, after that, you know, I'm pretty much, I'm done. I'll trade from about 7 to 9. And I only trade if, let's say I get my trade early like this, then I just kind of sit and just watch some things just for chart time, just for like my own personal reasons, just to sit there. But typically I'll just, after that, listen to some music like while I'm watching it and just kind of kick back and just chill out. Nothing too crazy. I don't trade. I just kind of watch the market for my time in the morning and then just listen to something, or I'll listen to some podcasts or something. I dropped a really good one on Chamath yesterday.
Actually, I listened to that interview.
he's my favorite billionaire. He's so interesting to listen to. And I don't even know his politics. I don't know anything. I just know that his investing, the way he the way he thinks and trace routes, investment ideas, and this and that. He's such an interesting person. I love listening to his just thought process with everything. So
yeah, that's what it was. Like when he talked, you just wanted to listen. Like he was a very intelligent person, and yeah, you could tell he had things to say.
yeah, he's incredibly smart.
Sorry, it's
That
my
guy's, you're all right. His brain just works in ways that I'm like, I don't even understand how, I listen to all of those at least. Like anything I listen to from Chamath is like, I listen to it like 3 or 4 times because most of the time I don't understand anything he's saying. In all reality, I start to put things together, but he's such a smart guy when it comes down. And not only that, there's this funny video you guys should watch too during coronavirus, not during coronavirus, during the GME and CME, when the Reddit users were blasting the firms and made them, brought them to their knees on some of their short positions. He got on CNBC and just ripped these hedge fund owners, a billionaire coming out and talking against his own people. And the people were so surprised, and he just blasts the host of he blasts the host. It was just a great interview to hear from him. It's like 35 minutes long. I can try to find it, send it everywhere later so you guys can hear it, but it was pretty interesting.
I gotta take off, Tanner.
All right.
I'm usually back after like half an hour, but yeah.
All right, bro. Take it easy.
Amen.
Man, Bitcoin had a nice sell-off too. I think this was off some regulation news or something, but some country, I don't even remember.
It was in China.
China, who wasn't there another one too? There was another country that, so the tax hikes.
It was Turkey.
Turkey, yeah, you're right. Yep, Turkey as well. The tax hikes will have something to do with it too. So if Biden does that, the tax hikes will have effect. I would actually be afraid that if that went through, that not only is the S&P in a huge bubble and will sell off, but Bitcoin is going to follow. And if 1 and 2 things get sold, everything does. So I would be concerned for probably every sector across the board, honestly. Let's check oil. So oil is just consolidating on the monthly. I expect $100 a barrel this year.
Yo, Tanner, do you think the oil market will get affected by these tax raises?
I don't
What do you
know.
think?
I don't think so. I think we're gonna see. Well, Biden is much harder on just all the regulations anyway, so that's why the price has been going up, because when it makes it harder to make and you have less of it, then that's just easy supply and demand. But there's something going on around the world right now with all these countries. I haven't kept up with the world news, but what countries are arguing right now? Isn't there something going on around the world? Something new.
Yeah, there's like Russia tensions with Ukraine.
So there's some crap going on, right? And that's also going to send the oil prices as well as gold and silver too. When we go back to December of 2019, remember when they hit Soleimani with the drone strikes in December of 2019. Now, gold hadn't gone anywhere for a long time. We had a nice breakout, I think, off of interest rates or something. And then off of December 19th, we had a big explosion in the silver market too. That was going to be, Soleimani was hit with the drone strikes during this time, if I remember correctly, we also seen a bounce in the
Eat your
oil
breakfast,
prices
Chewy.
too. We also seen bounces in the oil prices too. So I don't know. I think it's going to get interesting if there's anything that has to do with a war and tension. That's definitely going to send the metals higher. And then we have to think, okay, if the Fed was talking about interest rates, and if they cannot hike the interest rates, which I called bluff, I don't think they're going to, as well as hiking taxes too, like, dude, you're going to cause all this crap to collapse. So that I don't think they're going to be able to do it at all. I would think we see much higher metal prices this year. Probably, typically we don't perform well during the summertime. It's a seasonal thing, but later, like third quarter, I think we start to see the move. And then I think because think of it this way, I was talking about this too when Bitcoin was at its high at 64,000 with the group, like as I do my Zooms weekly for the group, I was talking about how this is a perfect time for the metals to lock in a low because there's no other asset that's undervalued. Like Bitcoin was all overextended, the S&P's overextended, right? All your stock choices are, it's not that hot. So I was thinking the metals are the only thing that are having that big sell-off, and especially gold. That's why I thought these things are going to get scooped up. So that's why I caught interest in this being the yearly low, and the timing made sense. Everything else was and is near all-time highs. So the only undervalued asset at this point to buy, and especially going into the kind of environment, would be the metals. So that made sense to me. Let me look at one other thing. I want to look at the commitment of traders reports, because this can as well leave a little trail of breadcrumbs when you check this out. You can understand where some of the bigger money's at sometimes. And I want to see if these guys didn't. Okay, so this is going to be this is always a week behind. So this is April 13th. So this is going to be last week's trading. We can't see this week's, but yeah, it's still a lot of on the short side. It's interesting. Find that hard to believe. So yeah, we have quite a bit of, there's always some interesting things going on in the world. In this world nowadays, there's so much weird stuff that I'm never surprised anymore. I don't get emotionally involved in politics or emotionally involved. I think being able to control my emotions in trading it's really bled into other parts of my life. So I don't get too crazy about, oh, what did this politician do and what's going to go on here and this and that. I really don't care. At the end of the day, none of these people care about you. They don't care about me, our family, nothing. The news doesn't, politicians don't. They're all corrupt. I don't care to get emotional about any of it. I just say, okay, what is their policy? Do I like it? Do I not like it? And then how can I make money off of it in the market? That's it. Don't care about everything else. So GJ, one nice candle for us today. This was a good trade. One trade today, one and done. I think some people call it gold too. There was a nice gold. I talked about gold above this high here, and I talked about gold above this high, above the 6 o'clock candle, back up into these highs here, and the target was hit there on gold. I personally didn't take it. I think some people may have, but how did this come back? Oh, okay, I see. Oh, because I was worried about, there was a 6:30 candle I was looking at too. 1 minute. Yeah, this candle I was looking at the break above. 7 o'clock. So we missed that 7 o'clock move on gold, but this was where we had it at. because we said after it, if the next candle were to pull down then break the high, that would give the nice entry for that run up. So let's just look at the news. Let's see if there was any news today. I don't ever check the news. So a lot of pound news today, euro news, a lot of good things for the pound and euro. 8:45, we have some US news. That's a medium impact though, so nothing crazy. There's a loaded up week of news though. I don't even look at the news anymore like this. I will like sometimes on certain things, but just to see what it was, just because of curiosity, not for my trading. I could care less. Dang, gold had a nice sell-off from up here just now too. So if you guys want more like news as far as world news, like just the economy and things like that, you can go to Forex Factory. There's the economic calendar, so you can see what like every country has some major things going on. You can watch their like Bank of Canada speak. You can watch the Fed speak here in the States. Like you'll like the European Central Bank. You'll be able to watch all of these things on here and know when they're coming, like monetary policy statements. You can go watch that. Unemployment rates, employment rates, blah, blah, blah. You can watch everything. You can know what's coming off of here, and then you can read about it in these folders and things like that. And then you can go to news over here and you can read about just news as well. And this is all going to have to do with just current market, a lot of just things about the economy. So yeah, you can read about a lot of things. There's a few sources like I'll use Forex Factory as one. I use Kitco as one, Zero Hedge a little bit. Things like that. Like typically I'll listen to, so my morning routine is like I'll wake up, you know, most of the time I won't eat before I trade, but just do the normal things, brush my teeth, blah, blah, blah. But after I'm done trading, like I'll take a shower and listen to Kitco, you know, like it's just, I listen to it while I'm walking around the house, just doing my thing. Before I go to sleep, I'm listening to these things. So that 30-minute candle ended up breaking the low here. Now it's filling the rest of that range we anticipated. But Kitco is just one of the ones I listen to quite a bit throughout the day. So we talked about this. I said if this 30-minute will create that wick to the upside and break the low, that it would likely fill the rest of this range over here. So we're seeing it now. So like if, let's say, hindsight, if I was in this as well, I would have this at break even right now in anticipation that it's just going to continue dropping. So as it gets up like 10 pips, just like any other trade back towards the bottom of this, I would take some money off of the table. So like right now, considering it's Friday and we're approaching the bottom of this range, I would be interested in pulling money off of this trade, especially now. Yep. So all of our ideas played out today. Pretty nice. We had a pretty nice morning. Good GJ sells. The idea on gold buys. Second ideas on GJ sells. I didn't take that, but I explained it. Yeah. Anything else from anyone else? Anyone? Anyone else?
Yeah, Tanner, regarding euro against US dollar, how come euro is
The
still
euro?
strong, even though, yes, even though the crap economy in Europe, except Germany. I just thought to ask if you had any inputs on that one.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's holding pretty nice,
uh,
honestly. And the dollar is just getting stomped on right now, really. I don't know. I think if we look at the pound obviously is going to be high as well. So the pound's been running similar to euro dollar, but I guess I really don't. I'm not sure if I have a good answer as to why. I just know that technically speaking, like if we were to look at the euro index, the euro dollar, um what is the ticker for that? EXY. It's not, because I think BXY is going to be, see, it should be EXY. Yeah, so this is the euro currency index. I just know I'm not a big fundamental trader. I don't know too much about, like, I don't know a lot about fundamentals. I know easy things like interest rates, right? I know that when interest rates are low, obviously it's better to buy a house, a car, things like that. It's better to invest. As they hike interest rates, then interest rates go up. So people buy less, people invest less, right? I know smaller things like that, but I don't know a lot about in-depth fundamentals on countries and blah blah blah. I really started paying attention to fundamentals on everything probably like 2 years ago. So I myself am still learning a lot about fundamentals and a lot about, I'm still learning a lot too. I'm pretty young. I'm really young. So this is, I still have a ton to learn in my lifetime too. So, and that's okay. I know what it is. When I get asked these questions that I can't answer, then I go and I try to dig in depth and figure it out. But I just know from a technical standpoint, obviously the pound has been, and the euro, they've been moving up on a weekly chart and they've been bullish. And if I go look at the dollar, it's been bearish. So I know paired against the two, euro dollar, I'm typically going to say that obviously I want to trade to the upside on it. But to give you an exact answer on why it's stronger, I'm not your guy for it, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I
Yeah, I
was
mean,
asking more in the sense of the trend that U.S. dollar has against euro or great or British pound.
mhm.
That way, some kind of a perspective. Then when we trade U.S. dollar against these two currencies, we keep in mind the trend,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
trade based on the trend, I think it's safer in the long run than trade
exactly,
in the short term. So
exactly.
that's my ask. But that's all right. I appreciate
Yeah,
your input.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. There's some things that I've been in the market for a while, but there's just some things I don't know. I'm not gonna act like I know it all. And that's
No,
the thing, is being able to just say, like, sometimes I don't know. A lot of people can't do that. So I don't know.
I appreciate it.
I have to
No
figure
problem.
it out. I need to figure it out too, right? And again, I try to pay attention, but even more, like, as the world shifts towards a more political, like, centralized place, I want to be less a part of that. So for me to want to pay attention, like 2 years ago, I wanted to pay attention to fundamentals. Now I get on Facebook and hear about fundamentals. There's all these experts that come out of the woodworks on Facebook. Everyone knows it all, right? So the more I get on social media, the less I want to be attached to politics, because I hear about it every day, all day long. And then when I'm listening to the market, I hear about politics. I like it in that aspect, but when I have to hear about it from all these stupid people, these college kids that don't know anything, that haven't ever done anything to make them think that they should even know anything, it's like, it gets old after a while. So the whole world's shifting towards political ideas. And for me, I'm like, I just want to trade. I could care less about this guy, that guy. I don't care what this guy says. If he's gonna be in there, I'll tell you this: Tanner Atchison isn't gonna stop it. So how do I make money off of their policy? Period. I don't care about them at all. Now I'll tell you this: like, as far as there's things, I will have more favorite favoritism to myself over other politicians, right? Like I generally liked the policies of Trump. I generally dislike the policies of Biden. I generally dislike the policies of Obama, right? I generally dislike Democratic policy. It is not good monetary policy. So, and people can't accept that because they're emotionally attached to, that's my party. Oh, you're a hater. You must support abusers and blah, blah, blah. And then all these stupid things are said. So that's why I don't say anything, because I don't care.
That's good. That's good. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, look, in the end, even if I do like someone, even if I do like their policy, they might not be there the next year. So again, I try not to get emotionally attached to this. Just all goes back to the fundamentals. I don't know. The reason I stopped paying attention to it is because I stopped caring about politics. I liked it before. Do what?
Yes. It takes a lot out of you when you get too much emotion involved.
It really does. And I got emotional one point about it for like a few weeks, and then I really just sat there and I'm like, man, what is this actually doing for me? Nothing, like at all.
Yes.
Either way, the money is still the same, and they're still going to do what they want, and I'm still going to have to do what I need to do. So why do I even care? And I'm like, I don't really care for real. I don't care to hear about any of it, anyone, all of this, nonsense today that we get. It gets so old after a while. Hearing the news milk everything and stir up the pot with racism and this and that. It gets old, dude. These people feed off of it. It's so negative. I get tired of it.
Yes. Well, I appreciated this session this morning because I made like $60 just watching you and while I'm driving.
Nice.
Yes,
there you go.
Yes, thank you.
Cool.
About 2% of my daily account, which is nice. But what I'm more appreciative is the fact that this is my first time in this session. To be honest, I'm not sure how I got your group because I am in another group too, Got Guns and Trading, with Bob Beckett. Beckett is a friend of mine, and I'm just very, very thankful this morning, to be honest, and to follow you because you seem to have a lot of wisdom and fear of the Lord. That's where the wisdom starts. It's the beginning of the wisdom. So it's just consider where I come from to make this living. I've been in the U.S. for over 27 years now. When I escaped my country, but yesterday, for example, trading, just following the trade. A good train is the wisdom and the patience. Like you said earlier, you have a lot of patience, which was taught to you from your grandfather and your father. That hit me, man, because like Warren Buffett says, in this world, there are impatient people and patient people. The patient people win. The impatient, simple as that. And I'm just very grateful to really anticipate today. I'll try to anticipate anytime you're going to be on the sessions because, making this kind of a living, even with 10, 15 tips, if you really hit the nail on the head, you can make a decent, income, daily income without being too greedy. But when you follow principles and be patient, I think there's no better combination of these two things. For example, I made $600 yesterday with a $3,000 account that I have. And imagine that back in my old home country, my brother makes $300 a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
And him and his wife, they make $600 a month. And I made it in the matter of 2 hours driving and work. So I'm very blessed. And I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yes, I appreciate it.
Yes.
Stick around, and again, anything that I put in the Telegram or the free Discord or anything, like, no one's pressured to do anything. So if you want to show up, like, just stick around. There'll be free calls, weekly. So I might do one, I might do 3 in a week. Who knows? But yeah, I love to hear it. So there we go. My job was complete today. Not only did I make someone else's, well, my day, I made someone else's too. I like winning too. So
thank you.
No problem. That's just it though. You got to be patient. Wait on your guys' movers. Be patient. Because all it takes is one a day. One a day, you get that winner, you get off. You're not sitting there over trading, clicking buttons, and then by the time you get to the end of the day, you've done over traded. But then if you just get off and go find a hobby, do something else, work on something else, then you you're gonna end up being okay. You'll come back the next day and take a quality trade. Like for me, every Friday now, I'm in a routine. Like I'll be off of here in the next 10 minutes. I'll take care of some things around here, and then I'll go clean my car, and then I'll just chill out. Might go hang out with my bird for a while. Who knows? I check in on the quotes every now and again on my phone, but yeah, it interests me because like hindsight, this is all going to be funny when I'm older. I just imagine where I'm at then. This is, again, I'm pretty young now, so it's interesting to see. I don't know. When I think about the things other people have to say, it's interesting to me. Because then I don't ever think anything of it. But then the way I'm thinking is, man, 20 years from now, how good will I be at this? Or how, where will I be? Will I still even be with it? Who knows? But it's good. This isn't like you're not gonna pick this up in a few weeks. This is literally, and I'm not kidding you, this is thousands of hours of watching a chart. Like there's days I've sat for 18 hours straight and watched this chart. Like no trades taken, just watched it. Because I wanted to understand, so. And there's another thing too, like the so many people lack discipline, and wherever that comes from, family, or you didn't have parents that put a belt to your butt when you were a kid, whatever it was, like so many people for whatever reason just lack that discipline. I don't understand. I really don't. And the other thing is, like, when I was raised, when you started something, you finished it, whether you liked it or not. Like it was okay to start it. You would get full support, but once you started it, you had to finish it. So this is no different. Like until I get this down 100% where I want it and make what I want off of it, then just I'll never stop until then. So we'll have to see. But yeah, overall decent. We had decent trade this morning. Decent, good morning. So anything else from anyone? If not, I'm gonna end up getting off of here. This is I'll post this on everywhere today, so everyone will have access to it again to rewatch. But anything from anyone else?
Just good stuff as always, Tanner.
Yes, sir. Did you get into anything today?
No, I didn't get into anything. Just been watching the market.
Nice. You trade you trade anything good this week, or you just been chilling?
Really just chilling, man. Trying to get back on my night schedule.
Yeah.
Business off charts, trying to network and do all this other kind of stuff. So I just been taking your approach and just watching the chart. I took one trade. It was yesterday. I noticed there was going to be a loss. I got out. I lost $23. I was risking 200. Like,
nice. Perfect.
real basic.
Did it run against you the full 200 then? Had you stay in?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's the best way to do it. Because that $23 loss feels better than 200 for sure. You lose a quarter of what you expect when you cut early. That early cut. And remember, like we talked about that last year, coming into this year, like when I took the whole month off of December last year, coming into 2021, that was one thing I had to change. Remember, like we would be letting things run to full stops last year. And that is another thing, when the price action is flipping and the momentum is no longer in my favor. Like I'm going to refuse to do that. I want to take a quarter of the loss, because look, if I can cut at least a quarter or half or 3/4 of the loss, the times that I do have the movers like this, where I make the full expected move, I'm going to make, I will always be up. I won't ever, as long as I'm disciplined and stay out of that, which every year I kind of, or even every quarter now, I'm going to reflect back on the whole quarter and just say, what can I do different? Right. So early this year, there was one other thing. We were coming in at like 5:30 in the morning and trading. And I realized that I was taking a lot of unnecessary losses at 6 in the morning, around that same time. It happened like 2 weeks in a row. And then I would have to make it all back at the 7 a.m. open. So my boy who was on here earlier, Caleb, he and I have traded together for a long time. I was like, I'm done doing that. I just texted him one morning. I'm like, this is idiotic. I wake up every day this early just to take a loss, then to make it all back at 7. I will only trade at 7 now. Once I tweak that, I minimize already this year those losses. So I'm trying to as well figure out how we can minimize those things and not take unnecessary losses. But that's good. You lose way less than you expect when you just lose the emotion and say, okay, like no ego involved. Is this going to go in my favor or not? Okay, it's not looking good, so I'm just not going to trade it like that. Just close it out.
Yeah, that's the main thing for me. Like, funny enough, this trading style I'm probably going to run with for the rest of the year. I showed it to you maybe in September of last year. And you thought, fire. You told me it was fire. But I wasn't confident in my trading back then. So I've just been assessing my trading style December, January, and February just clicked to me like, oh, this is the way I need to trade. It works for me. Get your 20 pips and dip,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you've got to figure it out what worked for you, and then just no ego attached to the trade, no emotions. Just when it's time to get out, just get out, and then just walk away. Because if you stick around, then you're going to find another reason to enter. And if you do not have the discipline for it, you're going to enter again. So once it's done, like just one and done, walk away, come back a few hours later, day later, find another setup, stalk something, and then just run it again.
yeah.
That's why this style, like this scalping for me this year, has been so much better than my swings in a way. A, I'm more consistent, and B, like the swings are hard to read this year. So for me, like the fundamentals don't line up how they did last year. And then trying to figure out, like last year, let's say I would try to find a reason to enter again. Like this year, it's more structured and more robotic for me, where I'm like, okay, I either get it to move or I don't, and I give it a second try. And if it works out, cool. If it doesn't, like, then I just get up and walk away, because I know the volume is going to die off. Then I really know that, okay, I can't trade anymore because there's no volume. I know what's going to happen. So yeah, it's just figuring it out what worked for you.
That was the main thing. I just appreciate like constantly the game that you give, Hussein gives, Peter gives, Trap King gives. Because little things I take from all you, I put it on my chart. I watch it. Maybe I try it live. Then I see what I like and I add it to my setup. And then a couple weeks later, you guys start mentioning it organically. So I know I'm on the right track with a lot of things. It's just now building up the consistency,
Yeah. And that's the thing. Look, there was a time I built a lot of trading ideas or systems. The thing was, I wasn't consistent with the time of the day I showed up. Like this was in the beginning. And I guarantee you, I could take probably all of those systems I built before and trade them now and make them work. And it's just about being in at the right time, the right place. And then the biggest part is just showing up every day. That is literally the biggest part. If you show up every day, it's most likely going to work out for you. But if not, and you just like kind of going through the motions and you're lazy, and then you just show up here and there, and then you take a trade and it don't work, then 2 days later you're there at the market at a whole different time taking another trade and it don't work, then you're going to start to say like, okay, this doesn't work, and I move on to something else. The moving on, you see people bounce from thing to thing to thing. Like I bet if anyone gave me their trading system and said it didn't work, I could probably make it work, just because I some way or another, I know the market at some point will work for that. I can figure it out. But yeah, a lot of people just give up and they're trading at the wrong times, doing it the wrong way, blah blah blah.
Yeah. One of my biggest mentors out here in San Diego, she taught me like 3 years ago. Sat in her office, networked, told her about my ideas, things I wanted to do, fully behind me. And then I told her, oh, I'm sorry for taking up your time. I know you're busy. She got mad at me. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm not busy. I made $4,000, $5,000 today. All we've been doing is talking the last 5 hours. You haven't seen me do anything. Busy people aren't in control. Busy people don't ever meet their destiny. They never do. People that are disciplined, people that are occupied, they always get things done. Be occupied with what you want to do. So just got to be occupied with the charts. Show up, like you say.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. See, for like, I guess for me, it was more so like in a way, like an insecurity that, or I don't even know, like an anxiety that I I feel like everyone was watching me, so I had to do something, right? And even then, it's like that's what makes me do it every day, is because I'm already in, this deep, and people expect it. So A, I like what I do, and B, I always feel outside pressure, which makes me perform better, I think. So I don't know, it's kind of weird, but
We're
I get
watching you, Tanner.
I know everyone is for some reason.
because you're one of the ones, man. You gotta embrace it. I try to embrace it every day.
Yeah, I'm used to it. So GJ was a good trade though. Like just this one candle dropped for us, so nice. Well, 1 15-minute candle.
So you know how, Tanner, after I missed that trade earlier,
Uh-huh.
I kept like I wanted to track it because it looked like it was setting up for that next zone there, or that next range.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I didn't trade it, but I watched it and like kind of pretended like I was going to, and it played out how, well, I don't know, what you've kind of been teaching, just in a different range.
Yeah,
And
so
so it was kind of cool to just go through it and actually do it, but not and be right, really.
yeah, so there's a clean range here on the 4-hour, and then on the 1-hour as well. And I was talking about this earlier, and as well, if you go look at the 30-minute, I was talking about how price is going to create a wick to the top. And if it did, when it broke that previous 30 minutes low, so here was the previous 30 minutes low, and
Yeah.
then here was the wick to the upside right here. And this was created first, right? When it was moving up, I said, if this creates a wick to the upside and breaks the low, this is probably gonna take off and fill this range. And yeah, sure enough.
So
Now, if you go back down to a lower time frame, like a 15, but even a 5-minute, you see we talk about price making a move and then consolidating, how it's healthy. See how this price ranged here, then it
Mhm.
broke again. So those are healthy parts, just like how if we go down to a 1-minute, price ranged here. So if we go down to a 1-minute and we look, price just sat in a range here. It makes its move, it consolidates. By the time it breaks the low, then you can find the high and say, okay, that was just a pullback. We broke out. Now it's time to play with it. Same thing here. Once price broke the highs and topped out here, by the time you broke back through that low, you can look back hindsight and say, okay, that's the high there. It's time to play with this because we've already topped out. We're breaking back down.
And that consolidation just adds some strength to the move, like it.
Yeah.
It'll
So
likely run better.
yeah, so just on a technical standpoint, when we talk about silver earlier on a higher time frame on a weekly, those lower time frame concepts, look at silver on the weekly. See how we've broken out, big consolidation, we've broken out, but then we have consolidation again. So when we get that breakout again, that breaks out of this and makes a run, or it's ready to run, we know it's going to be ready because now we can look back and say, okay, when it broke out here, I noticed all this consolidation. So I knew, okay, price has been building for something. It broke out and ripped. Same thing here, as it's consolidating and building and getting stronger. When we break out again, I'm going to know, okay, now it's time to rip because we've consolidated here. So, most likely on the weekly time frame, how we broke out here on the weekly, when this happens again here, I might attach a big swing on the metals on a very low lot. That way I can manage it without even being worried, and it might be something that, who knows, over the next year or half a year, I might hold that swing and be able to capitalize and make good money off of a low lot. You know what I mean? So
when you're looking at weekly, like, with these scalps, we're looking at 1-minute candles to break the zone. When you're looking at weekly, is it the same thing? It's just a long like a big time frame candle you're looking to break the zone.
Same thing, higher time frames. So see how these weekly candles were breaking out down here?
Yeah.
Like if I start to get that same thing right here, which I'm afraid, but I'm willing. So look at this monthly. See how this monthly blew through this?
Yeah.
Now I anticipate that this consolidation is going to be a quarter of this consolidation's time. And one thing I'm willing to do is miss the move. The weekly time frame breakout up here will probably be like this monthly time frame breakout, if I had to guess. So if I were to want to attach a swing to this, I would technically have to play the daily candles, but to be safe, I want to see a weekly candle close out like this. And if that happens without price exploding out of there, then I will attach to that idea. But I'm willing to miss the whole move to the
So
upside.
if that big move didn't have that little candle first, you'd probably just walk on that one, walk
Yeah,
away.
I'll leave it. I'll definitely leave it. I don't need it. I don't care.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But if it does, if I picture it in my head, how I, how I do, and it does that, then 100% I'll put some small size on there and let it go. And if it plays out, cool. But the reason I do small on the weekly, because you've got to manage it on the weekly. And I mean small. You don't want anything big at all.
No, like well, you said that consolidation will likely be a quarter the size of the previous. Why do you think that? Why do you say
Because the move has started, right? We've obviously been sitting in this consolidation since 2014. That's a long time.
that?
The price ran up out of there. Like Bitcoin is the same idea on a daily, right? I talked about how this consolidation down here, the pullback on a specific move, I said would be a quarter of the time of the last time. So this was the pullback, and then it absolutely exploded out of there. So once that move starts and you catch that higher time frame momentum, we've already broke out. So to me, we are probably going to consolidate for a quarter of this time. So, maybe something like this, we'll see. And then maybe even a little less. So, but see how this ends up, right? I was talking about third quarter. If we shrink this down towards like August, September, October, like that's kind of when I anticipate that move to run out.
For sure.
So I expect, probably later in the year, this thing to break out. And we might have spikes between now and then, but that's why I watch it on the higher time frame, because then I can, like, these are 4-hour breakouts if you go to a 4-hour candle, those are 4-hour candles up there that broke out. That's why you don't want to watch it on that. Even the daily, right? Daily candle breakouts. That's why you want to see a weekly, because you don't want to be faked out by that.
For sure.
So you just wait for a higher time frame to close out. That's better confirmation than a lower time frame.
Well, a lesson for another day.
Yeah, definitely end of the year kind of idea for silver is my time frame for this to, and especially, again, I brought up the point earlier, I think I was interrupted, that during the summer the metals typically don't perform as well, and if we can hold during the summer up in here as well, that to me gives me a good sign that as well it's gonna pop through there.
Yeah.
I'm really anticipating this, honestly.
So obviously you're doing the scalping training and the live sessions. Do you teach just these other things in your head at any point, or do you just go with the scalping stuff?
Yeah, so if you go back through like the old archive videos and no
Mhm.
risk, you can listen to a lot of like my swing trade ideas, or like ways that I did that. But it
Just curious. I'm one thing at a time. I'm
yeah, you can
sticking
go
with the
back
scalping
through.
first.
You can go back through and listen, but the reason I haven't again talked about it this year is because the market's a bit chopped this year, and I don't want to do something that I don't want to do. So
For
it's a
sure.
lot easier for me to just pop up in the morning for 2 hours and then go on about my day. But yeah, there's ways you can go back through and listen, and we can even talk about it on some Tuesdays as well, how to get into some, and like on the Tuesday nights that I do a Zoom. But
Yeah, like Dylan was saying, it's a good time to save up a few questions and then just talk it out.
Mhm.
What was I had one more thing I wanted to ask you if I made it back in time. Oh yeah, and honestly, I'm not insulted by this. I genuinely want to hear what you had to say. You said you were glad I missed that trade.
Yeah.
Like what did you mean by that?
because I'd rather you not make the money. Honestly, because it's better exercise that you have to sit and watch the market move without you.
Mhm.
Right. So
And
sometimes when I watch the market move without me, I'm okay with it. Like I said, if a weekly candle were to break out up here and I were to put some size on and then this thing were to take off, cool. But if it were to move without me, I don't care. I know that tomorrow I'm going to show up and trade something, and then the next day and the next week and the next month and blah, blah, blah. Right. So I don't have to worry about it. And I just for that purpose of being forcing you to be patient and forcing you to watch everyone else make money today. It's almost like someone brought up earlier, these people that are on social media trading sell a dream. That's not what I get on here to do, and I'm happy you missed it because you didn't get to make the money. So, and that is the reality. That's the reality, is that some days you will have to suck it up and deal with that, just like I do. But if I sit here every day and A, I make you money, or B, I tell you you're going to make money every day, then you start to do stupid things like execute on things that don't need to be executed on, or right, you get this arrogance or this and that. So it's a lot easier to give you the harsh reality early, and then you'll appreciate it later. Whereas as to where I'm not saying you do, but some people might think, wow, like what a prick, or he's rude, or blah, blah, blah. But later on, you'll understand, because that is the reality of it, right?
I completely do not. Like, I wanted to hear what you meant. Like, I that's what I had in my head. Like how you just kind of went through that. That's what I felt like. I just wanted to hear you say it, really. Like, I get it. It shouldn't be easy.
No, it's good patience.
I want to do that. I want to learn the right way. I'll learn from my mistakes. Honestly, will probably never put a stop loss in the wrong side again. Like, just because of that experience.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been cool, but yeah, you get to see what it's like to watch everyone else and have to sit on your hands, which is good. It's a good lesson that later you'll appreciate. So,
and
that's going to happen a lot too. This won't be the first time. You'll be late, not late to the call, but late to the party on some things, and then you have to sit and wait. That happens to me too. That happens to me all the time, where I have to sit and wait. So it's not a big deal.
But like you said, just come back tomorrow. Same thing.
Exactly. I've been through it too much to know better than being impatient. It's just, and I'm not saying I'm perfect at it. There's times where I too will make mistakes, but for the most part, I keep it all pretty much.
You probably refined it to the point where it's not a concern.
Yeah, I keep it under control, and I don't get too crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm only human too. It isn't like it's all perfect. Like, we took loss yesterday, but we managed it correctly. That's the main part.
Yeah.
And then come back today and look what happened. When you manage your small ones, you have big ones that move, and that's the whole point.
Honestly, that's the hardest part right now. Is I was part of that managed loss yesterday, and that's fine. And like, today would have been a kind of like, okay, good, that felt good to like rebound, but now it's like just piled on. So I am managing that feeling. That's the roller coaster of it.
Mm-hmm. So someone asked me, not a dumb question, nothing's ever a dumb question. How do you figure the dollar is required to buy, sell, e.g. 10,000 units? I don't know. I don't trade units like that. So yeah, to be honest with you, I have zero idea. No clue.
And GJ's making all that space back.
Yeah, it'll happen. Like, look at gold from our anticipated target this morning. It literally hit it and then just flipped around and melted off. GJ just tapped into our target and then just spring, right back up.
And you avoid that, right? You want nothing to do with that that hard reversal. You want predictable, not predictable. Just
Yeah, I don't care.
confirmed confirmation.
Once I make my trade for the day, I do not care. The only reason that I'm still on here is A, to answer things, and
Yeah.
B, I just spend my time in the morning for at least 2 hours, even if I'm done how GJ was, at 15 minutes into the session. Even if that happens, it's good practice to sit every day. It's good discipline. It's good. It's good.
You're learning, right? You're learning by watching.
Yeah, and you get to pick up a routine. That's the most important thing, is that I don't break my routine. I'm very like routine oriented. I don't like change. I'm pretty set in my ways, so I don't know. I can, when I get into a groove of something, I just stay with it, and I get flustered when it gets interrupted. So to me,
Honestly, that robotic style is exactly why I'm here learning from you, because I just know inside of me that that will be my best path to success as well.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I talked about this discipline earlier. A lot of people lack discipline, and where that comes from in this world today, I have no idea. Look, I'm 24 years old. You go look at a lot of other 24-year-olds. They are complete, absolute idiots. They have no discipline in life. They can't even make their bed when they wake up. Half of them don't even brush their teeth when they wake up.
Dude,
Seriously, this is the kind of generation that is coming in. And I'll tell you what created me, or what made me, that I never understood, but as I grew up, I understood. My dad, if he had to say it once, he was smacking me twice. As a kid, I thought my dad was mean. I never understood. The more I grew up, and especially now today, my dad is my best friend, and I appreciate watching all these other spoiled, rotten brats running around, mommy and daddy handing them everything, mommy and daddy just a little smack on the wrist every time they get in trouble, laughing at their kids for the stupidity they're doing nowadays, encouraging it. I appreciate the discipline that my parents put into me, because that has bled into my trading 100%. And a lot of these people nowadays don't know self-discipline. Again, they don't even make their bed when they get out of it in the morning. They have no routine. These are the same kind of people that are out Monday through Friday, or they're living for the weekends. They're miserable with themselves. They have no direction in life. And honestly, I don't have sympathy for it. I could care less. I don't know the people. I don't care.
Yeah, you do.
But it's that's what it is people lack the self-discipline nowadays, again, for whatever reason. There's a disconnect in reality. People suck nowadays, and it's especially the younger generations. The older people had it a lot harder, and I honestly, I would have rather been a part of them than I would kids my own age. I could think about it. I have to hang out with people my own age. I hang out with a lot of older people, but these kids are absolute idiots. They really are.
I wouldn't have guessed you were 24. I would have thought higher or late 20s. So I hear what you're saying. I'm 37.
Yeah.
37. I got a 4-year-old, and I'm starting to think of these things you're talking about, like guiding this kid. And
it's a miserable world to have kids in, honestly.
Yeah.
Again, my best friend is a 53-year-old man, so that's why I would rather hang out with my parents any day than people my age any day. I love my family. I get more, like anywhere I go, I'll find the most interesting old guy in the room, and I just cling to him. We'll be out, me and my friends, when we go do anything, I'll find some interesting old guy that has done something that I can't or haven't done. And then I just go ask him a whole bunch of questions. And that's like, I don't know, my friends will be over there partying and just with girls and blah, blah, blah. And here I am with the old guy. Like, I'm more worried about, what do you do or what have you done? And it just,
nothing funny. Wrong with that. It's deep.
I watched my dad do it as a kid too. He clinged to the older people. Like when I grew up, I always watched him just with the older people, and he just clinged to him. He liked them a lot better than people his own age. Now I get why. Because I'm watching these people grow up that I'm supposed to be growing up with. I'm like, you guys are acting like some animals for real. I don't like it. Half of them think they got it all figured out, and half of them, they have barely any brain cells. So
I'm thinking back to when I 24, I wasn't exactly going to be sharp enough to be doing even close to what we're doing now. So
and like
tons of respect for you, man.
I never act like I'm perfect. I jack around too, but for the most part, it's not. pure
okay.
stupidity. Like
It's
you
okay
said.
to have some confidence and just know who you are.
These people today, it's like the younger generations. Look, we're in trouble for real. And then the people we have leading this country, that's not it. That's not an example we should have. Trust me. It's gonna be,
It's not just yours. North America has trouble.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. This world's crazy. It's a crazy place.
Well, I don't know. You're past well, it's 8 a.m. here, 9 a.m. for you. I don't want to keep you. So
Yeah, I'm just seeing what these things are doing. The metals are selling off heavy today. Honestly, I would expected them to hold over the weekend, especially with this whole tax idea, and then maybe see something liquidate early in the week. But I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. We'll do some trading sessions next week. And then everyone will know the day before, like always. And then
do you have or do you just kind of freestyle it week to week, like your morning sessions?
well, we'll do just like we do with no risk Tuesday nights on the just normal calls, and then Thursday
Yeah.
we'll do the call for sure, the morning trading. But I've been trying to transition into like every day of the week, because it makes me like, there's like an accountability thing for me that I want. The reason I want to do it is because I have never done it all 5 days.
Yeah.
And if I say I'm going to do it, then I'm going to do it, and I want to. So,
Well, honestly, I want you to, because just the more of these, the more I'm learning. So you won't get any argument from me.
yeah, I think maybe like starting this week coming up, we'll have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, depending, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen, but yeah, we'll try to run with it and see. There should be, if not every day, then at least 3 days next week. The only reason that I wouldn't want to do every day is because the volume on Monday and Tuesday sometimes suck.
Yeah.
And I don't want to trade low volume days, but look, we'll see what happens.
For sure. I'm no matter what, I'm probably gonna get up and just try to establish this rhythm, because honestly, I'm not gonna learn by being half-ass about it. So
yeah, I'm gonna be hopping off of here as well. I'll end this recording, and then for anyone